What is going on, everybody? So, finally back in the lab. Been crazy last couple of days. So, I have the gold from the littles and the gold from the bigs. Well, along with a couple other stuff in there. But, hold on. Let me show you the goods. Yeah. Ferrous sulfate crystals are back. I really enjoy using these. So much better than the SMB. I'll tell you what. Anyways, let's get to refining this. So we have to clean this up, I would say, a couple of times. There's no question that this stuff is anywhere close to being pure. Right? So I think we've got it consolidated enough where we can start that process and not having to worry too much about it. Let's see. And we're just going to do this all in one beaker. I've been thinking about this for the last couple of days, whether that's a good idea or a bad idea. I guess we're going to find out at the end. But, so we know there's some palladium metals in here, right? We know that there's some palladium, possibly platinum, with that last Stannis test we did, which we know is kind of a pain in the rear to get out of the gold, right? Especially when you're using SMB. The precious or the platinum group metals tend to follow the gold when it drops. So the ferrous sulfate crystals is supposed to drop just the gold, so we should be okay in that department, and it'll actually be a really cool Stannis test at the end, I'm hoping, because when I dropped this with the SMB, we had, I imagine, because it wasn't that good, nice brown color, you know, you can kind of see that the water is definitely on the gray side. So I'm thinking that there's more, you know, either platinum or palladium in there, that we should have a pretty cool and pretty clear test. So let's get started on this. Should be a pretty simple refining. Not going to take too much. Something we've done a couple of times here on the channel. So we're going to start with a little bit of hydrochloric, and that was probably overkill, but I had some water in there, so I wanted to make sure that I could actually get a good potent aqua regia. And we need some nitric. The good stuff. The good stuff. And we're just going to start with 3 mils of nitric and let this thing do its thing. Hopefully find some gold. Get that on the heat and let it do its thing. Alright, let's check and see. If we have all of what needs to be dissolved out of there. So I'm just going to add a little bit more nitric to see if we have a reaction. 3 is not a whole bunch, and the solution is still a little cloudy. So I don't see anything crazy happening. So I'm gonna have to say we picked up a little bit more orange. So we might be cooking still. So we'll see where that. I think that was like 2.5. I don't think that was quite 3, but we'll see where that gets us. All right. Well, this is cooking here. I'm gonna add just a little bit of sulfuric acid. Alright, I am going to add just a little bit of sulfuric acid to this. And I'm hoping that I have excess nitric. That'll tell us we have everything dissolved. Alright, time to filter this bad boy out. I did put a little bit of alright, time to filter this bad boy out. So I'm growing quite fond of this small little flask with the funnel on it. Instead of the paper, I'm going to try cotton this go around and see if that works. I'm hoping it doesn't pop through. But I'm thinking it won't because we don't have vacuum on it. But we'll find out. Anyways, let's see here. So I did put a little sulfamic acid in here. And we didn't have much reaction. There's still, like, we got dark material in there, but I didn't have any reaction when it was just nitric in here. And I put about six more mils in, so we have about 12 mils of nitric in here. This stuff doesn't look like gold. I'm trying to get it. It's very, very light. It looks like silver chloride. So I think we'll be okay, but we'll get a better look at it when it's in the filter and see if we need to rerun it at all. I just think 12 mils of nitric is quite a lot for what little amount we had in there, especially it being refined once already. So I don't know about that. I think I was boiling it off more so than anything. Ooh, this is working good. That looks crystal clear. Let's see here. If I can spin this. Oh yeah. Yeah, I like that. We'll be good to go there. Alright, well, let's let it do its thing. I'll get back to you when I've got it all filtered out. I'm going to clean the beaker out before we go into to dropping it. So we have a nice clean beaker to go into and a nice clean solution. So let's get at it. So here's a close-up of the bottom of the beaker. So some of that is sulfamic acid, of course, and I don't see that dark spot on the right there is definitely on the bottom. But yeah, I don't see, let's see here. I don't see anything screaming gold at all. Maybe right there. It's so hard to say. While we are waiting for this to filter, let's break out the scientific straw. Alright, let's see here. A little bit of Stannis. I imagine this is going to be a nice test. Bam, just like that. Look, it's so dark I can't even use the glove. It's gonna drip. Hold on. Let me get a rag. Alright. Yeah, I would say we got some gold in there. Perfect. Well, let's go get it. Hopefully a little cleaner this go around, eh? Gotta love e-waste, huh? And let's see. Even a little bit of yellow there. So we kind of knew that was coming. I'd say a whole lot of gold with a little bit of palladium or platinum. So I got this cooking again. I put we have a pretty decent reaction because I had the that leftover sulfamic in there. So we definitely are activating the nitric. I am cooking that. Just I put a little bit more hydrochloric in there with a little bit more nitric, just actually quite a bit more. I put like 15 milliliters in. Liters, holy smokes. 15 milliliters in, because I knew I was going to have to burn through that sulfamic, and just to test to see if any of those black little specks go away or not. If they go away, we know it's gold, and then I'm going to have to try to get it. Otherwise, if it's not, I've got a very small batch of stuff that I've been collecting for a while from other e-waste projects. If you've been on the channel for a while, I did like a cleaning up kind of like quick little series, and I was doing very small batches of like pins and just kind of like weird stuff I had left over. And so I'll run that in that aqua regia there, pick all that up, and see if we can add a little extra more to it, huh? So there's an example of how crystal clear that solution is. So this is going to take a little while to get this filtered, especially now that I got some of the silver chloride coming out. So you can see it there. I imagine the filter is just packed. So that's all right, because that means it's all caught there and it's coming out beautiful there. So tomorrow we'll do the drop. I was hoping to do it tonight, but no sense rushing it, especially if we're getting our solution that clear. There it is, all filtered out. All that nastiness we got out of there. Alright, and here we are. There's our gold solution. We have quite a bit of iron in there. Wanted to make sure we got everything out. Let's see here. First thing is first, we need the scientific straw. Alright, and we've got a little color left. I can't even see that with my goggles on here. I would say that's pretty orange, huh? Well, not super orange, but definitely an orangish tint. So I would say those are the platinum group metals that we were dealing with before on the bigger one. Alright. I would say we've got all the gold out of there. So let's go ahead and clean this up a bit. Now, I'm not going to do a super clean job on this one, because I still have... There's going to be a little bit in there. And there's a whole bunch of leftover nitric in that. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this little bit of gold I got up here. And we'll add that to the rest of this. So let's get rid of this. Keep an eye on the top of that. Make sure we don't sacrifice too much to the refining gods. Oh, the sweet, sweet smell of SMB. I don't know if I want to go any further, because some of this is pretty small, because we weren't able to get all of those metals coming out, so some of it did come out relatively small, and some of it did come out nice. So we got a small little batch there. So we're going to try and let this settle a little bit, and then we'll keep going. I suppose in the meantime we can get this in there. Oop. This has been sitting in there for a long time, if you couldn't tell. This little bit of stubborn stuff there at the bottom. Doesn't want to give it up. Alright, let's pour the rest of this off and see what we have. Try to do this nice and gently. Alright, well, I think the video just cut out, which is kind of a bummer. We didn't do anything crazy, but I poured the rest of the solution off. Here's our gold. And I am working on our first boil. And then we'll get a weight on it after we're done boiling it. You know, at least one cleanup on it. And then what we'll do is we'll save that, and we'll drop the rest of this. Let's grab a Stannis on this quick, actually. I'm kind of curious. I don't think it's going to be very potent in comparison to that other one. But I know there's still gold in there. And then what we'll do is we'll gather all this gold. Oh yeah, we got some gold in there. So when we drop that gold, we'll go ahead, do the same thing. We'll clean it up, we'll get a total together, and then like I said, the gentleman who gave me all this goods wants me to give a quarter of this away, and he wants me to save the rest of it for baby Iris. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I had to add a little extra just to make sure we give you guys enough. And depending on what we end up with, there might be a little extra added. Anyways, we'll add the rest of that 3/4 that he wants me to have, to the 15 grams we currently have. We'll keep stacking that. When we pour that into that nice 1 ounce bar, we will get Iris written on it. So I'm really looking forward to that. That will be the second one of the channel. So we're getting there. All right, I'm really intrigued with what is going on here. We've got this weird film that's developing on this. Look at this. Hold on. Oh, gotta get the gloves. You can kind of see that the solution is cloudy, right? Or water. Not so much solution anymore at this point. Let's see. Well, we've got some weird sediment coming up and out of there, which is good, right? I mean, that's the cleaning process. But look at that. Yeah, that's hot. Oh, woo! Yeah, these gloves definitely aren't as protective as the other stuff. I'll tell you that. I'll dump this out quick. I keep touching it like this. We're going to do one more water. I'm just going to pour a little bit of water in here. See if I can get any of the rest of that. It's very light. It stayed right in the water column. I don't think I'll be able to picture that or pick that up on pick that up on camera. And the rest of that dissolved and went into solution. So, cool. And it's still pretty black. There's no question about that. So it's definitely not the cleanest of golds right now. We have to work on that. So, let's see here. I'm going to get this swapped over quick. Put that back on. The rest of that gold dissolves up. Should we wait on the weight? That's funny. Wait on the weight. I think we're going to. I think we are going to. We're going to keep that cliffhanger. All right. Well, the next one, like I said, we've got the gold in here. We're going to dissolve the rest of that. This stuff is good. Good workable condition. So we're going to keep that how it is. And once we precipitate this stuff, we'll give this stuff here and that stuff a really nice cleaning. I'm thinking hydrochloric distilled, or let's say distilled hydrochloric distilled ammonia distilled. And this should be spotless. So we'll get to that. I have to work this weekend, just Saturday, so I guess not the whole weekend. And I am on baby duty Saturday night. So I'm hoping Sunday I can really hammer this stuff home and at least get it dropped. I'm hoping to get this stuff dropped tonight. So then Sunday I can really give this stuff a scrub down. So, all right. I'll see you in... We got to come up with a name for the Silverstone computer room. All right. Whatever you think down here. Let's get a name for it. What is going on, guys? It is Friday. We've made it. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Today's sponsor, Summer. Just kidding. Oh yeah. That's funny. Anyways, So this gold, it went really well, at least this time of the drop. The first two, they were stubborn. Didn't want to give it up. And I don't blame it. I imagine there's a whole bunch of metals in that solution. And like even with this ferrous sulfate, we had some pretty small, like when you use ferrous sulfate and you get the gold relatively clean, it comes out beautiful. And not that it didn't come out beautiful. It was definitely way bigger this go around than the last go around, but it was still, you can tell that solution was heavily saturated with other goods in there. So it'll be interesting. I'm really looking forward to, well, that last Stannis test on the other one. We got some gold in there too. And it was pretty dark. It was pretty dark. So I imagine we got some goods in there. We're going to have to, yeah, and I waited on the weighing. Waited on the weighing. There we go. Another cliffhanger. Dun, dun, dun. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and weigh that all at the same time just because I don't want to get my hopes up, right? We're just going to go in nice, easy. We're going to get the gold. We're going to split it up. We're going to have another giveaway coming up. And before the 1500, I imagine. So that's the next giveaway. That's the next channel giveaway. 1500. But I think we're going to have another little bit of gold to give away here soon. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. What else do we got? What else do we got? Ferrous sulfate. So I tell you what. I have missed my ferrous sulfate. That homemade stuff, there is nothing like it in comparison. It doesn't compare to the store-bought stuff, and it doesn't compare to SMB. Now, I get SMB's got a place, right? It's got a time and a place, but nope, ferrous sulfate for me until I do that, right? So you got to drop the gold with 2 different precipitates to really purify it, right? I mean, so I've been told anyway. So I will do it with SMB every once in a while. However, the rest of the time, ferrous sulfate all the way. Cheap to make. You don't get that smell. No sulfur dioxide production, which is poisonous. You don't want to breathe that stuff in. And it doesn't matter what I do with it. It goes into the stock pot, you get a whiff of it. It's like, God, it just stinks. And it stays in your nose for forever. It's terrible. Don't breathe that stuff in. Anyways, good to go. I think we're good. Touched the basis on everything. You guys have a great weekend. The weather is dang near perfect outside, at least here. If you're on the opposite side of the globe, I imagine you are coming down to an end with this type of weather. So don't be watching these videos during the day. Go outside, have some fun. Enjoy the weather while you can, all right? These videos are on YouTube forever, so... Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.